So hello everyone and welcome to Young with Ram. You know, the series where I answer the questions you make in the the previous week. This week, well, you'll have seen that in the latest days there have been no videos. That's because I'm taking kind of a slow down time in uploading videos. I'm taking some more time to myself. I'm worrying a little bit less about uploading videos. Before I was all days and every day was like, okay, today I have to put up something. Now I'm pressing myself quite a little bit less. Also, I have been staying away from the computer a little bit more because I have some more things in the real life going on right now. But well, that's mostly it. Also, I would like to address something that was going on last week in one of my videos, where I say that I'm not going to help any broken fighter player. And some people answer that that was a dick move, that I was an idiot. Well, not an idiot, but that was um, really bad for me to not help them. Now, I want to precisely and explicitly and well, just explain things in detail here. Some people say that people shouldn't be blamed for using planes that are broken because that's Gaijin's fault, because Gaijin has put those planes in the game. I'm the first one to say that if it's in the game and if you can select it and fly it, it's legit. It's not cheating. Still, it's abusing. So, of course, I can blame those who fly those things. Of course, they are abusing a broken plane, and they are doing so because they know they are doing so. I mean, the first time you fly a broken fighter, maybe you don't know it's broken. Maybe you are new to the game, you just unlocked it and you're flying it. But let's face it, when in its battle between level 4 and level 9, in historical battles, there are at least 4 broken fighters, chances are all of them know what they are flying and why they are flying it. So, I can't say they are cheating because they are not, but they are abusing a broken thing in the game, and that's exploiting a loophole in the game. There's a problem with the game, and they are exploiting that. I think very low of people who do that. First of all, because they don't not only grieve the enemy players by killing them by bullshit maneuvers, etc. They are griefing their team because they get huge scores they don't deserve. And this is as easy as that. Each time I am in an allied team and I see broken fighters in my team, I know I'm going to be kill stolen, or at least they are going to try, because the kind of people who fly that thing is the kind of people who don't give a shit about what the other players do. So if they can steal a kill from you, they are going to do so. So I think very low of them. And I'm not going to help any of them at all. If they are in danger, it's their own fault because they are in a broken plane and they shouldn't be in danger in the first place. Also, that doesn't include the moments when the game is in the balance. At the end of the game, if it's a 2v2, for instance, the guy who's in my team is in a broken fighter, of course I'm going to help him because I want to win. But other than that, no. No. And even less in the situation you saw the other day. I had a BF-109 in one direction and in the other direction I saw a bullfighter in trouble. Well, fuck the bullfighter. Fuck the abuser. Simply as that. People who abuse the system deserve no help at all. And the only reason I will help anyone playing a broken fighter is because the game it's in the balance. And if I don't help him, we are going to lose. Because I want to win. And I want to win for me and for the rest of the team who are not flying those broken pieces of shit. Because they deserve to win, because they have chosen to fly things that aren't broken. Same goes to the with the A20G. The A20G is even worse than the broken fighter, at least in my view. It's a plane that climbs maybe 2 to 3 times better than what it should, turns in a dime with speed. When it's at low speed, it doesn't turn as well as a broken fighter. But if it's at high speed, it can turn in a dime. Has assassin weapons for the level it's at. It's 60 kilometers per hour faster than what it should be, and it's in a level it shouldn't be at. And the problem with those planes is that they are griefers. I have lost the count of games flying as Germans or Soviets in Kursk, that a game that was won and there was just one enemy left and it was in an A20G, a game that was already won because it was most of our team versus one, well, was dragged for 25 minutes or more because the guy simply kept on going. And there's no way you are going to catch up with an A20G with a Henkel 112, let's face it. Even in a BF109E you have trouble. Even if in a BF109F you have trouble. So I'm not lying. You can ask even subscribers of me who have been flying with me and they have been witnesses of it. In one particular night, I was flying with a couple of guys, subscribers, and in 4 consecutive games, it was the same. We won the game, 25 minutes of pursuing and following the last A20G. And that's retarded. That's briefing. Because even where they were told in the chat, come on man, just land and quit the game, and we will be fine with that. They wouldn't land. They will simply keep on going, just in case the AI gunners could get some kills. So yeah, so A20Gs, they can forget about my help. Broken fighters, they can forget about my help at all, unless the game is in the balance. Because I don't support abusers, I don't support griefers, and I don't support team killers, kill stealers. Sorry. Well, team killers as well. I have lost account. I have been forced to return to base because I was hit from a broken fighter who was trying to steal one of my kills. But yeah. So those things I'm not going to support. I don't condone. I don't approve their choice. I don't approve the way they are exploiting the game. I know they are exploiting the game. There's no way in hell they don't know those things are broken because everyone does. Everyone does. Everyone does know it. Even if you don't know and you don't know crap about planes and you're playing historical battles, no one does because if you don't know crap about planes, you are playing arcade battles. Even if you don't know anything, in the chat they are going to tell you those things are OP. Those things are broken. They are overperforming like mad. They turn like they shouldn't. They climb like they shouldn't. They are too fast. They don't lose any energy in maneuvers. They roll too well. They are retardedly broken. And no, I don't approve that. I don't condone that. And I'm not going to support any of them. And I'm not going to help them. And if they are shut down while I'm looking from above, I'm going to enjoy them being shut down. As simple as that. Because I can't describe how much I despise people who abuse the system. Because they are griefing other players. Their own teammates and the other team players. So if that makes me asshole, if that makes me shit, full of shit guy, or an asshole, or a whatever, well, I'm an asshole, I'm an idiot, I'm a retard, and I'm all those things. But I don't approve people who exploit the system. Sorry, but I don't. And they are not going to come with my support to do so. The only reason I don't team kill them is because team killing is not allowed, and that's really a dick move. But really, no, there's no way around that. No. So yeah, say that. Let's move into the questions. The first question is, which Kia 84, sorry, which Kia 84 do you think is coming to the game? The version against bombers with two 20mm cannons and two 30mm in the wings? No, I would say it's going to be the standard fighter. Also, I think the 30mm version is not really worth it because those 30mm weren't very good. I think it's the standard fighter. So yeah, well, I don't know, of course, but is what I think. If you are going to add new fighters to Japanese, add new fighters, not bomber killers, because they already have several of them. One of them with 57 millimeter cannon. So, next question. Do you believe that the Tempest 5 has a proper flight model? I have seen people claiming that it doesn't. What do you think? Well, the Tempest 5 has problems with the roll rate. It should roll much better, especially at high speeds. Right now, it's very hard to roll at high speeds, and it's a little bit difficult to adjust shots for maneuvering enemies because of that. Other than that, some people say that the elevator doesn't answer as it should. My opinion is that the instructor is limiting the elevator. I think the Tempest shouldn't turn very well. I know the historical reports say they do, but say it does, or that the historical Tempest did or turn as well as the Typhoon, but it doesn't make any sense. I mean, the plane was exactly the same weight, had more or less the same wing loading, and had laminar flow wings, which aren't good at all for turning. So I do think the Tempest has problems with the roll controls, indeed. But I think it's still an assassin. In my opinion, it's the best boom and summer in the game that doesn't face jets. Because the only better boom and summer in the game is the TA-152, the German level 16, but that one faces jets all the time. The Tempest is impossible to catch. It's impossible with that low speed, low level speed, and I mean low altitude, high speed. Let's clear it. That dive, that zoom. It's also a pretty decent climber. It's not a BF-109 K4, for instance, but it's a very decent climber. And simply, it can't be caught in a dive. It can't. It simply can't. It's the best diver and swimmer in the game of level 14 and below. So I think even when the roll should be better, and I'm sure it's going to be fixed, it's still an excellent fighter. Another question. Do you think that the Tempest 2 will be far too overtired at level 16? No, I think it's exactly the level it should be at. The Tempest 2 came too late to see any action in the war, and level 16 is for that kind of planes. I mean, actually, the TA-152 should be 15 probably, even 14 if you really ask me, because of when it entered service. The VF-109K4 at level 16 actually doesn't make too much sense either. Should be level 15. But anyway, the Tempest 2 must be level 16. I mean, I'm hoping for even better diver and swimmer than the Tempest 5. It's going to be a hell of a plane. So no, I think level 16 is more than warranted, both from the performance side and from the historical side. Next question. What's your take on the Zero? We have spoken really a lot about them in past Young with Rams. They are broken. They climb too good. They don't burn like they should, and I think they stand too much damage for what they planes were. Yeah. If you want to see more about what I think about the Zeros, go see the Japanese tree video I made a couple of weeks ago. I speak a lot about the Zeros there. Next question. Ram, would you do a full real with Oculus Rift on your face? No. No, because I have one of my eyes with problems with the eyesight. I'm not going to get the 3D experience it gives. And probably what I will only get will be headaches. So Oculus Rift is something I'm not looking forward to at all. I'm not going to get it at all, so no, not at all. Next question. Ram, why you no go for that girl you liked? Yeah, he's speaking about the story I told you last year with Ram. Well, when I found out she liked me back then, it was well past the moment when something could happen. I already had a girlfriend. I think she didn't have a boyfriend, but I mean, it was well past the point where we liked each other. So no, there's no sense in going for a girl that you liked when you were 16 years old, and when you find out when you are 23 that back then she liked you. No, no, no. It made no sense. And also, I had a girlfriend, so nothing at all. Next question. Yeah, Ram. Would you like to see the German and Japanese capped at a given tier, or would you like to see the further proposed evolution of these nations in War Thunder? And he goes on to name a lot of advanced tiers. Personally, and that's my own take, um, War Thunder Gaijin created a big problem on themselves by choosing the top and the end game at Korea. They should have chosen 1945, well, 1946, because you really need some early Allied jets to match the German ones. But by going Korea, they have totally shot themselves in the foot, because they need something German and Japanese that can compete with Korean war jets. And there's none. The only thing there are paper planes from 1945. And even those paper planes are not going to be in the same league as the MiG-15 or the Sabre. So I think they are still in time to fix that. And the way to fix that is to cap cap the Germans and Japanese, so they can't face anything that's dated after 1946. So MiG-9s, they are going to find the Habian Vampires, they are going to find Meteors, they are going to find F-80As, the first shooting star, not the C version, which is a Korean war jet. They are going to find as well. So they are going to find jets that are in the same class as the jets the Germans had. And that way you don't have to start adding paper planes. Because I don't think that's good. Personally, I don't think that's good. And that's my choice. That's what I would do. Cap German and Japanese nations, so they only can fight planes of their same class. So MiG-9s, Jak-15s, shooting stars, the A version, Meteor F4s and F3s, vampires, that kind of stuff, which is in the same league. But what makes no sense is to see an Mi-262 fighting with an F9F Panther. It simply makes no sense. It's totally retarded. And I don't like the idea of adding paper planes in order to make them able to compete, because you open a big can of worms with that. So that's what I would do. Next question. Oh, yes, yes, yes. This is not a question, it's a comment. You failed us, Ram. On another video, someone asked who your favorite porn star was. You didn't answer. Well, you are going to look at me like I'm some awkward guy or some really strange guy. I don't like porn. And I don't look at porn. I don't. Honestly, I know very few names of porn stars. And honestly, none of them is of my liking. I don't like the. I mean, it can be less realistic. I kind of, yeah, I do watch amateur porn now and then. That kind of stuff. People who they are not actors. They are kind of, yeah, that kind of stuff. But the porn industry, I don't like it at all. So yeah, no, I can't name a favorite porn actress because I don't know any. Well, I do know some, but none of them is of my liking. All of them have pneumatic boobs. Also, I must be a real strange guy. I don't like girls with huge boobs. I like girls which are well proportioned. I'd rather have a girl with small boobs, but who's pretty and who's natural than someone who has gone through surgery to have huge pieces of silicone in their breasts, and they seem like ugh. I don't like that at all. I don't like the porn industry, to be honest. So it's not that I didn't want to answer, it's that I didn't know what to answer. So for what it's worth, there you go. Next question. Next question is actually a lot of questions. Where are you from? I'm from Spain. Will you ever put on videos from World of Tanks? I would love to, but I can't. And the reason why I can't is because since patch point 8.8, there's no way I can't play World of Tanks. I have huge lag spikes, huge, like seconds of lag. And I know it's not related with my connection because I can fly War Thunder without a problem. I can play any online game without that kind of spikes. I have seen that some other people have reported similar problems. It seems to be not general, but some people are having that, and I have that as well. I tried to play with circumflexes in his stream last week, and I couldn't. I simply couldn't. I was aiming at a corner just to shoot at an enemy and come back into cover as he appeared. And the guy had time to move out, take a shot to me, move back before I realized I had gotten hit. So I can't play World of Tanks. So if I can't play it, I can't put any videos up. So no, until that is fixed, nothing from World of Tanks. If I get it fixed, probably something will come, but won't be very common. Is there any country that you don't like that much? No. I don't think there's any country I dislike. Um, I mean, every country has good things and bad things. So no, I don't. There's no country that I dislike in special. What do you think about gunposts on G2? Well, I don't fly with them. At least I don't use the gunposts unless I'm expecting a lot of broken fighters because then you need them. But no, I usually don't fly with gunposts in the BF-109s. They kill maneuverability and performance too much for my liking. And the weapons they have by default is more than enough. So, yeah. Do you think the German 20 mm is too weak? I do think there's a problem with the Maiden Gasos round. I'm sure of that. Um, I don't feel it's strong enough. But still gets the job done. And it's much better now than what it was in patch 1.31, where really the German cannon seems like shooting peace. So yep, that's all for this massive series of questions. Next one. Ram, you mentioned Ace Sky. Do you still actively play Ace Sky? No, not for, since a long while. The thing is that after a while of flying it, I flew it a lot, really. I started flying it in 1999 and stopped playing it maybe in 2005. So that's almost 6 years. And I was really addicted to it. I mean, I spent a ton of hours in that game, and I was really good, really good. Um, Actually, I think I became good too early for my own sanity. I started blank. I didn't know crap. I thought I did, but I didn't know crap. Um, I got help from people who were really helpful and taught me the basics. And from there, I started learning on myself. And I got really good in a really short period of time. I think it's something with my character and the way I am. When I like something, and even more if that thing is competitive, I have this need to excel at it, to become really good. And if things don't go my way, I get really frustrated. Nowadays, it's not a problem because, well, I'm mature enough to know that's really childish. Childish. But back then, I mean, we are speaking of time when I was 22, maybe. Yeah, more or less. I simply wasn't mature enough. I was still a kid. Actually, I was a kid. And I had exactly the same urge to be the best. And when things didn't go my way, it was really terrific. I felt like shit when I was killed. And it's part of the game. Sometimes you are going to be shot down, and it's no one's fault but yours, of course. Um, I I became addicted to the game. I became one of the better pilots at it. Um, I know it sounds really bad, but yeah, I was really respected from my flying abilities, from not so much for other things. Let's be honest. My behavior was not the best. I was really good, but I was not the best mannered guy if I was shut down. So, and that was just because of that. I'm usually not an ambitious guy, but when it comes down to something I really like and I feel the need to excel at, ooh, I'm a handful. And again, right now is much less of a problem because I know to recognize my weaknesses, and that's a weakness of me in a way because in others helps me a lot. In my job, it helped me a lot because I become really good at what I did in very short period of time. But when things don't go my way, I really become frustrated, and now I can control that frustration. But back then I couldn't. So in the end, I simply became burnt of that game. I'm so much that I don't feel like coming back. Even while I know the game is splendid, still it's outdated, of course, from the graphics side of things. But I will have a ton of fun in it. But I don't feel like it because my last year there, it was frustration after frustration. Really, there was a moment where I couldn't enjoy the amazing fights I was having, the great kills I was getting. I couldn't enjoy them because for me they were normal. But I was becoming increasingly and increasingly frustrated each time I was shut down. So in the end, I just quit the game. And I think I did the smart thing doing so because at the end I was getting no enjoyment and just frustration. So nowadays it wouldn't be a problem, as I said, but the sensation of burnt out I got from Ace Sky is not gone. I don't feel like going back. Um, and it's not fault of the game. The game is fantastic. It's my own fault, but I don't feel like going back to it. So no, I don't play it anymore. Next question. Who's coughing in the background, Bram? My father. My dad was here when I was recording last time. Next question. Hey Ram, say something 3 times fast. Okay, there we go. Jumbo Jack with cheese. Jumbo Jack with cheese. Jumbo Jack with cheese. Did I pass? Next question. Ram, can you give me a Hearthstone beta key? I am actually still in the beta. I still could get a beta key if I receive it in one of the waves, but I haven't received any yet. The only one I have was given to me, and if I get another one, I would do some kind of contest or giveaway in the channel. So yeah, I don't have any, but if I get any, I will give it away. So just hope Blizzard gives me one. Next question. Ram, which will you pick? The girl of your dreams, or the Focus 590? Your favorite variant. A Focus 590 is not going to make me happy. It's not going to give me a great family. It's not going to help me educate my childs. I will pick the girl of my dreams. any day, anytime. It's probably the thing, is not the thing, but it's one of the most important things in your life to pick and choose the right girl to live with. Because if you pick wrong, it's a nightmare. But if you pick right, well, your life is a dream. So yeah, the girl of my dreams. Any day, anytime. Next question. Do you think that the Russian development team's rules were thunder? That's why there are only Russian and German tank trees and lots of Russian aircraft. I do think that Gaijin being Russian has a lot to do with Russians getting so much attention. And I'm not complaining about that. I mean, their biggest market is Russian, so it makes sense from a business point of view. They are also Russian, so they have easier access to Russian source data than from other nations, so it makes sense. As for the tank trees, it makes sense. Just makes sense. If you think about it, from the period of maybe between 1941 and 1945, the Germans have such a technical advantage in tank design compared with the British and the Americans that there would be no real way to balance it out. At least it would be a nightmare to do so. So I think that releasing the Russian and German trees, which are much better balanced, because the Russian tanks were really good, I think it's much better because the balance is going to be easier. And even so, even while the German tanks, in my opinion, have a superiority, especially in what regards to the Tiger, the Panther, the Tiger II, those kinds of tanks, they have really, really small answers from the Russian side. But it's going to be much easier to balance out. And my guess is that they are releasing those two trees to find out ways to properly balance the technical superiority of one of the sides, matching it with a not that inferior technically tank tree, which is the Russian. So I think it makes sense because they will learn a lot of lessons about balancing and they will apply those lessons when further tank trees are implemented. The American, the British, and the Japanese. So yeah, I think it makes sense. So in the tank side, I don't think it has anything to do with them being Russian. As for the planes, yes, I think it makes sense for them because they are Russian and because the bigger market is in Russia. Next question. Can you give an estimated time on an engine mechanics video? No, not yet. It's something that I have in my mind, but I still haven't gotten to do it. And when I do, it's going to be a series of videos, as I told you. Um, I'm hoping soon, but as I told you at the beginning of the video, right now I'm not doing so many videos as I was before. So yeah, well, maybe it will take some time. I'm hoping that before the end of the year they are up. That's the best I can say. Hey Ram, do you think that Gaijin will add the TA152C? After watching your video, this plane seems to be awesome and it looks very good, way better than the H version. I'm totally sure they will be adding that because the TA152C actually was in service and was delivered. Two of them were delivered to frontline units, so it was an operational plane of World War II. As for being better than the H version, well, the H version was a high altitude version of the plane. The C version was a lower altitude version. Um, it will be better in some regards and worse in others. But I think it's going to be a heck of a plane indeed, and I'm sure it will be added. Pretty sure, yeah. Next question. Hey Ram, which is your favorite World War One fighter ace and why? Um, it's hard. There are a lot. They are a lot. I'm going to be little bit strange here because I could go with Volker, with Rickenbacker, with of course Richthofen, with a lot Geinemer, a lot of aces of World War One. But probably I will go with Ernst Udet. And that's not just because of his flying skills, which were a lot. I think he was the highest German scoring ace, which actually survived World War One, or the Great War, as it was called back then. But the thing is that he was. I like the way he was. At least what I have read about him and heard about him. Udet was in the mid wars was one of the best, if not the best, aerobatic pilot in the world. And he was a really gifted pilot. And he was a really extrovert. He was one of those larger than life personalities. And probably I like him because he was the reason why, well, probably it's one of the reasons why one of my all-time heroes of aviation, which is Eric Wrinkle Brown, started flying. The first time, well, actually, I think it was his second. Well, when he was a teenager, Udet took Brown to a flight in one visit that Brown was doing to Germany with his dad, which in turn was a World War One pilot. And he took him for a ride. He did some really extreme aerobatics, and Brown studied really well. And when they landed, Udet told him that he was the right staff to be a pilot, and probably at least Eric Brown says that one of the biggest influences in his life to that ended in him being such a great test pilot was having that fly with Udet. And he has spoken a lot of times about how Udet was so outspoken, so full of life, so extrovert. And the only bad thing is that he had such a sad ending because Udet committed suicide in 1941, I think, because he was the chief of the technical branch of the air ministry of the rates, and he was forbidden to fly in operations. And also there were a lot of stuff going on. He didn't go very well with the Nazi stuff, which of course speaks volumes of him. But yeah, probably I will go with Ernst Udet, mostly because of his quality as an aerobatic pilot in the mid wars. Yeah, that would be my choice. Next question. What is the best way to make money in War Thunder? Well, if you go to the Fighter Combat School section, you will find video tips, a video with tips and suggestions on how to maximize your profit and in making lions in War Thunder. So take a look at that because there you will find a very long explanation about how to maximize your credits. Next question. Do you have a favorite tank commander for World War II or a favorite crew? Yeah, I'm going to go actually again with no, I don't think it's actually going to be such a strange answer because if you know about World War II history, you will expect this. Um, a lot of people would say Mikhail Wittmann. At least I think is how his name, Michael. In German is Michael, nor Michael. Well, whatever, Wittmann. We'll go with Ottokarius. Ottokarius was well, Wittmann was an excellent tank commander, of course, and he had some extreme successes. But well, yeah, he was really, really excellent. But I think Otto Karius was better. First of all, Karius was all of his achievements were on the Eastern Front, while Whitman's most known exploits were in the Western Front, where the Germans had an infinite technological superiority over the Allied tanks. I mean, the best tanks the Allied had a gun able to penetrate a Tiger, but they couldn't stand any fire from even Panzer Force, the Sherman Firefly, or you know. On the Eastern Front, you had to go versus T-34s, um, Stalins, that kind of stuff, which was pretty much tougher. And Karius was an incredible commander. And in one place called Malinava, he got, I think it was 19 Soviet tanks without any loss, for instance, which is even better if you think about it than Villiers blockades for Wittmann. Also, he survived the war, which also is a plus. And I think in general his tactical decisions were better. Also, I think he commanded one of the few battalions of Yak Tigers at the end of the war, if I recall correctly, and he did a hell of a job with them. And those were really beastly things that didn't behave really well because the Yak Tiger in real life was underpowered, had a lot of mechanical troubles, and it was really hard to do well in them. Of course, it couldn't be penetrated by anything frontally, but it wasn't easy to do well with those things, and he did. So yeah, I will go with Otokarius probably. Next question. Hey Ram, have you ever played Sid Meier's Civilization? Oh yeah, of course I have. And at times a lot. I do have, well, I have played all the civilizations, but I don't really get hooked by them. After a while, they simply move forward too quickly. If you know what I mean. The eras are so restricted, and it's a good abstraction. It's a really nice game, but it's not one that really gets my attention. But I have played them all, so in a way, yes, it does get my attention. Well, whatever. Next question. Will question of the week. Yeah, always one of them. Ram, dildo or vibrator? Neither. What the hell? Neither. Next question. Hey Ram, will you ever post MiG-15 or F-86 videos eventually? Eventually, yes, when I get them, but it will take a long time. I'm guessing. Um, Other question. Hi Ram, are you considering making a clan? No. No, I actually spoke about this before the clans were released. I don't think I make a good clan leader. A good clan leader should be diplomatic, and I'm horrible at being diplomatic. I speak my mind always, and that's not good. It's not the best thing for a leader. Also, as a YouTube producer, I have a lot of haters and a lot of admirers, both of them. And I don't want anyone to suffer from having his battle name or clan the same as mine. So no, I'm not going to join any clan, and I'm certainly not going to start a clan on my own. Next question. Why do you never talk about the merch, Ram? Maybe you should tell people about it. Well, I talk about the merch each time I'm merging with an enemy in my videos, and I say what I'm going to do. What's to say about it? Depends on the energetic situation, depends on a lot of things. I never explicitly made a video about merges, but in every video you see me merging with enemies. So I think I have done a lot of videos about them. I have spoken a lot about them. Next question. What series of planes do you think is best for Amazon besides the Focus series? And which variant in particular do you prefer? P-51. Well, and the Tempest. Probably a Tempest. Tempest 5. Is the best bomb assumer in the game that doesn't find the jets in matchmaking. At least not normally. Sometimes it does, but it's not normal to see jets in a Tempest. Yeah, the Tempest and the P-51 as well, both. Next question. One, when the ground forces come out, perhaps when PS4 releases, which nation are you going to grind first and why? I'm going to grind both. And why? Well, because I want to show them both in the videos. I have to. I mean, people will complain if I only make videos of one of the nations. Don't you think? So yeah, probably well, probably no. I'm going to grind both, and also I think it's good to grind both because you can see things from both sides. And you have to be the best at this game. You need to understand the machines and the machines you are facing to know their weak spots, their strong points, and to act accordingly. It's the same with planes. If you have flown a plane you are facing, if you're facing, for instance, a Spitfire and you have flown it, you know which are its weaknesses, which are its strong points, because you have experience, first-hand experience with that. So it's going to be the same with tanks. I'm going to grind them both, and more or less at a similar rate, because I want to show them in videos. Next question. Ram, do you like to cook? I would also say yes, but no, I don't. I actually cook because I live alone and I have to. But let's be honest, out of the grill, out of the microwave oven, and out of very very easy frying pan things, I'm terrible at the kitchen. Really, really, really bad. I do very simple things, and that gets me going. As for the thing I like the most, anything with meat. I'm carnivores. Yeah. Um, I love meat and I love pasta. So yeah, those two. And thankfully, it's easy to make pasta. So yeah. Next question. Since your Facebook page is an account instead of a proper page, do you find yourself observing your fans' private lives? No. I mean, my Facebook page is for people to add me and to ask me questions and to for me to put up an update about the videos I'm gonna uploading and stuff. I don't stay a long time logged into my Facebook account. In fact, I do stay in my private Facebook page a lot more because I have one, of course. One thing is my private Facebook page, and another one is the one for War Thunder. So no, I don't look. I mean, I don't. No, no. Next question. How do you rate Entax wife from 1 to 10? Hahaha, sorry, mate, I have to ask it. Um, I have to be honest, I don't know Entax wife. So, I don't know. Well, why? Did he show him with his wife in his videos or what? I don't know. I don't really follow his channel, so I can't really tell. Um, More questions. Have you ended your Brandenburg Let's Play for EU4? No, no, it's on hold because, as I said, I'm uploading out this stuff, but it's going to go on. Don't worry, it's going to go on. And I should start doing it soon because it's been on hold for a long, long while. But yeah, it's going to go on. There's no way I'm stopping EU4 at all. Next question. Hi mate, I saw just this space game on Steam with which claims well it's about a game called Space Engineers. I have actually looked on that, but and looks really cool if you are a creative guy. It's about building stuff in the space and then driving it and taking it for a ride and crashing it because it has some awesome, awesome physics and mechanics. The thing is, it's just about building. And then what? Uh, I find it interesting, and I probably would like to give it a go, but it's the same with Minecraft. Minecraft is a hell of a game, which I love. I love to see videos about, and I'm subscribed to a couple of Minecraft channels of people who are really creative and do some amazing stuff. But I don't have the patience, the will, nor the time to do all those things on my own. I would get bored, and actually I got bored of Minecraft. I technically own it since alpha, so I do have Minecraft, but I don't play it because it's like okay, I start building stuff, and then building more stuff, and building even more stuff, and what? I mean, for creative people who find pleasure in just creating things, it's amazing. But I get bored of that after a while. So yeah, probably it's going to be the same, and I don't know if I want to even give it a try because it seems like a really awesome game. But yeah, you create stuff and you can drive it. So what? Because for instance, in Kerbal Space Station, which I love and I still play, there are a lot of things that you can design and fly, but you do that for a purpose because there's a challenge. I want to go to whatever planet, or I want to do something that makes orbits and then goes back to home in these conditions. So there's a challenge, there's a goal, a practical goal. Creating for the sake of creating is something I don't really find enticing. I I think I'm a creative guy, but not to that extreme and not to that level. There are people, and I probably will love to see space engineers in YouTube from people who do it, but I would get bored to death if I had to do it myself because it takes a lot of time. So no, no. Next question. Well, someone is asking about the P-51 being a good turn fighter, and as well as being, well, I'm going to actually read the question. I remember watching how the American P-51D was a good turn fighter, or at least a decent one. High altitude fighter, as well as being reasonably armored. It would outturn BF-109s and Focus-190s, maybe not zeros, but gave them a fight. Got it from military history's dogfight series. Yeah, that's the problem. Could you explain why the P-51D in game can't be used as a turn fighter against German fighters and not just a boom assumer, since in World War II could outturn the German, other American, and some Soviet aircraft it flies against in the game? Well, because it didn't, and because you have seen something that is a lie. Dogfights is probably the worst piece of shit that has ever been aired about air combat. Don't believe anything they say that there at all, at all. First of all, at all. First and foremost, they are biased. They are immensely biased towards the American side. It's like a propaganda show. Let's face it, it's that way. Second of all, I'm going to make it short. Each time I see a dogfight documentary with quotes, pun intended, because that's not a documentary, that's a propaganda film. Each time I see a dogfight propaganda film, I throw my arms to my head and shake my head saying, what the fuck are they saying? It makes no sense. The P-51 was a great plane. Was an excellent, excellent fighter. High speed fighter. Now, why doesn't the P-51 outturn BF-109s in the game? Well, it does at high speeds. But once that high speed goes under maybe 350 kilometers per hour indicated, the BF-109 is going to turn better because it has a much better power loading and has a much lower wind loading and has slats as well, which help a lot in slow speed maneuvering. The P-51 shouldn't outturn most things in the game because it didn't in real life. It did at high speeds, and in the game it does at high speeds. And not just the P51. The Focus 190 can now turn Spitfires. It just doesn't do so at 200 kilometers per hour. But if you are at 500 kilometers per hour and you have a way to keep that speed up, namely staying in the vertical and pointing your nose down while you turn, low yo-yos, low spirals, you are going to outturn them. Not by a lot, but yes, for that killing shot. Maybe for 90 degrees, for 180 degrees, even for more if you keep your speed up. Because good turn fighters are good turn fighters at slow speeds, but they are high speed fighters which are excellent turner at high speeds. This is what is called instant turn rate. I actually speak about this in one of my fighter combat school videos. The Zero, for instance, can easily be outturned by a P51 if the Zero is at 500 kilometers per hour and the P51 is at 500 kilometers per hour. It's not going to do it for a long time because the P51 is going to dump a lot of speed while turning, but can be done for 90 degrees maybe, not more. If you keep it going, you are going to blow your energy out of the window and then you won't be able to turn with him anymore. Because the slower you get, the more you come into the Zero's area. So, why can I explain why the P51D in game can't be used as a turn fighter? Because it shouldn't. Because it's not one. It's a 5-ton plane with a high wind loading, a very low power engine for its weight. I mean, the Merlin was a 1,700 horsepower engine, and it's going against planes which are 2 tons lighter and are more powerful. So, power loading is pretty poor in the P51. Wind loading is pretty poor in the P51. It can't be a turn fighter because it's not. It's not. Simply, it's not. And it wasn't in real life as well. So stop watching dogfights because dogfights is shit. And I mean, a TV show that says a plane like the P51 was reasonably armored when the P51 was not used was actually disliked as a ground attack plane because one bullet could shoot it down. One bullet in the radiator and the P51 was gone. So think about it. How many P51s were used in ground strike missions? And how many P47s? Why the P47 was used in ground strike missions and the P51 was not? At least not as a rule, of course. Now and then it was used in that way, but was not common. Because the P51, one bullet in the radiator and bye-bye plane. As simple as that. Meanwhile, the P47 could take a lot more punishment. So forget about armor. They had no armor. The P47 had no armor. Its legendary toughness comes from the fact that it was a big, tough, very sturdily built plane. But not because it had lots of armor. Because it had none. Well, it had some for the pilot, maybe a little bit for the oil, but very, very, very few armor. I mean, in percentages, it was less than 5% of the whole plane weight. So it was very restricted. So plane toughness is not related to the armor. And dogfights saying that the P51 was reasonably well armored is just shaking your head saying, what the don't see those shit. Really, don't see that shit. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. That's going to be it for this week. As always, guys, hope you enjoyed. It's been long, almost 1 hour. Wow, lots of questions this week. And as always, don't forget to post your questions in the comment section below and upvote those questions you want to see answered. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and see you later.